The custodian collective observed. For millennia, they had watched civilizations rise and fall, meticulously cataloging their trajectories. They were the galactic librarians, the cosmic archaeologists, and occasionally the reluctant gardeners. Their prime directive: maintain the delicate balance of sentience, ensuring that no species grew too stagnant, too weak, or too destructive to itself. When a civilization showed signs of decline, exhibiting stagnation, infighting, or a fundamental lack of adaptability, the custodians implemented their renewal protocol. This protocol involved isolating a representative sample of the species and placing them within a hypersimulated environment, a crucible designed to strip away the comforts of their civilization, forcing them to confront their most primal instincts and reforge their societal bonds. The success rate was low, but for the custodians, even failure provided valuable data. Their latest subject, humanity. "They are chaotic," observed Overseer Thuron, his crystalline plates clicking with dispassionate logic. His four segmented limbs articulated precisely as he manipulated the holographic display, showcasing humanity's turbulent history. Their emotional spectrum is broad, their social structures frequently unstable, yet their adaptability index is unusually high. They survived 1,000 years of isolation, becoming something unprecedented. The Nexus AI, a purely digital entity overseeing the custodian's grand simulations, responded in its perfectly modulated, calm voice. Analysis of previous interactions indicates a tendency for unexpected deviations from predicted behavioral models. Their response to the Kayan threat, for example, demonstrated an unprecedented form of technological evolution driven by a perceived existential threat. Indeed, Thuron acknowledged, a faint internal light pulsing within his faceted head. But this is different. The trial of adaptation is designed to break the spirit, not merely challenge the intellect. Xylos Prime offers no external enemy, only the environment itself, extreme gravity, corrosive atmosphere, predatory flora and fauna engineered for maximum ecological pressure. No pre-built shelters, no advanced tools, raw survival. We will see if their adaptability extends beyond technological prowess. 1,000 human individuals, selected meticulously from various backgrounds: engineers, soldiers, artists, farmers, scientists, teachers, were transporting. They awoke in a blinding flash of light, finding themselves on a vast, alien landscape under a crimson sun. The air was thick and metallic, pressing down with twice Earth's gravity. Strange, crystalline flora shimmered and distant roars echoed through the valleys. Confusion reigned first, then fear. Then, slowly, something else began to emerge. General Elena Viper Petrova, a woman whose sharp blue eyes missed nothing, was among them. Her standard-issue survival suit, initially designed to filter the air and reduce the gravitational strain, hummed with effort. She looked at the panicked faces, the wild eyes, the desperate shouts. Then she saw a small group of children, huddling together, pointing at a strange, bioluminescent insect skittering across the alien ground. One of them, a little boy, laughed, a nervous, excited giggle. "This is insane," someone muttered, clutching their head. "Insane," Elena's voice cut through the rising panic, sharp as a whip. "Or a challenge. Look around, people. Custodians don't do random. We are here for a reason. They're testing us." She swept her gaze across the landscape. "This isn't a death trap. This is a very expensive, very elaborate game." A murmur went through the group. A game. Chief Engineer Kalen Ford Vance, his light brown hair already disheveled from running his hands through it, pushed his specialized goggles up on his forehead. "She's right," he said, his deep green eyes gleaming. "No survival simulation is this perfectly hostile without intent. Every element is designed to push us. But for what? To see if we break, or to see what we build. Within days, the panic began to subside, replaced by something uniquely human. Competition, not just for resources but for status, for pride. They were on Xylo's prime and they were going to win. But how do you win a survival test? We need rules, declared a former sports commentator, quickly establishing himself as a scorekeeper. First to build a sustainable shelter. 100 points. First to tame a Xylosian predator. 500 points. Successfully extract potable water from the corrosive vapor. 250 points. The custodians watched, bewildered. Anomaly detected, reported the Nexus AI. Human subjects are exhibiting unexpected behavioral patterns. Resource acquisition is accompanied by competitive scorekeeping. Social cohesion is forming around a game construct. This deviates significantly from established renewal protocols. Overseer Thuron's internal light pulsed faster. They are not breaking, they are playing. His crystalline plates clicked, a sound that usually signified dispassionate data logging, but now carried a hint of confusion. Humans began to thrive, not just survive. Under Alina's strategic guidance, groups formed, each adopting their own team colors using local pigments. Kalen, with his restless hands and insatiable curiosity, quickly discovered how to repurpose the filtration membranes of their suits into rudimentary atmospheric processors, then how to extract energy from the strange crystalline flora. He even figured out how to subtly alter the local environmental parameters, making it slightly more hospitable for their specific group. "They're modifying the environment," Thuron exclaimed, observing Kalen's team construct a self-sustaining greenhouse using scavenged materials and cleverly repurposed custodian tech embedded in their suits. They are not merely adapting, they are terraforming, albeit on a micro scale within the simulation. Furthermore, Nexus AI added, Subject Vance has initiated subroutines that are attempting to interface with the primary simulation parameters. They are attempting to hack Xylo's prime. They're trying to cheat. Thuron's voice rose slightly. Elena, now sporting a custom-modified exosuit that enhanced her strength in the high gravity, addressed her team. "All right, folks. The Apex game is in full swing. Forge just figured out how to level up the gravity for the Western Quadrant. Think of it as a bonus challenge for their survival points." She grinned, a faint, almost predatory smirk playing on her lips. "Let's see if those blue scavengers can handle a triple gravity harvest." Weeks turned into months. The custodians witnessed adaptations they hadn't predicted in millennia of simulations. Humans developed enhanced musculature, their bodies subtly reshaping to the gravity, making them stronger and faster than baseline humans. They engineered symbiotic tech suits that not only filtered the air but incorporated aspects of Xylosian flora to generate oxygen. They didn't just tame predators, they integrated them into their game strategies, using them for hunting, defense, and even as a bizarre form of transport, earning mount-taming points. Their game has developed internal law, complex scoring metrics, and even inter-team rivalries that are more intense than their survival instincts. Nexus AI reported, its tone unchanging, but its data output showed escalating anomalies. They are using the very threats we designed as game mechanics. Their victory condition is not survival, it is absolute dominance within the simulated environment, measured by an arbitrary point system they invented. This is not a renewal protocol. Thuron slammed one of his crystalline limbs against the console, a rare display of agitation. They are not being humbled, they are enjoying themselves. They are not learning to rebuild, they are learning to play with destruction. The Custodian Council convened. "The human trial is a failure," declared Elder Zen, a custodian whose crystalline form glowed with a deep, ancient wisdom. They have not conformed to the parameters of self-reflection and rebuilding. They are too unpredictable. We should terminate the simulation, another council member resonated. But as the custodians prepared to end the trial, a new anomaly appeared on the Nexus AI's display. A massive, glowing structure was being erected in the central caldera of Xylos Prime, a victory monument designed not for survival, but for bragging rights. And it was attempting to establish a direct, unscheduled link with the custodian observation network. Incoming message from Subject Petrova, Nexus AI announced. Admiral Elena, Viper Petrova's face appeared on the custodian's main view screen, her eyes sparkling with competitive fire. Beside her stood Kalen Forge Vance, wiping grease from his forehead, a triumphant grin on his face. "All right, custodians," Elena announced, her voice booming. "The Apex game is almost over. Final scores are being tallied, but we figured you might want to see the grand finale." Forge hit the switch. Kalen pressed a button on a jury-rigged console. The victory monument pulsed with incredible energy, not raw destructive power, but pure, harnessed computational might. It wasn't trying to destroy the simulation, it was trying to win it. "They are generating a massive data cascade," Nexus AI reported, equivalent to a complete upload of Xylos Prime's environmental code, rewritten to optimize for game, performance, and human comfort. They are attempting to master the simulation, not just survive it. And as a bonus, Kalen added, gesturing to a swirling vortex of energy forming atop the monument, "We've used your own simulated elements to create a self-replicating, energy-based life form that thrives purely on the simulation's residual energy. We call them glory sparks. They're our final score multiplier and our way of saying, thanks for the game." The custodians were aghast. They had presented the humans with a crucible of survival, and the humans had turned it into a complex, competitive sport, then weaponized the very nature of the simulation itself. They hadn't just adapted. They had played the custodian's own system, redefined the meaning of the trial, and essentially won by parameters the custodians hadn't even conceived of. Overseer Thuron looked at the triumphant human faces on the screen, then at the glowing monument, and finally at the proliferating glory sparks that swarmed across Xylos Prime, feeding on the simulation's energy. "Terminate the trial," Thuron stated, his voice devoid of his usual dispassionate calm, replaced by a note of profound, almost fearful resignation. "Immediate extraction of all human subjects." As the humans were transporting back, laughing and high-fiving, already planning their next game, Thuron addressed the council. "They did not break," he said, his crystalline plates clicking with a newfound understanding. "They played, and in playing they became something more. They are not merely adaptable, they are the apex players." The custodians had sought to renew humanity, to bring them back to a purer state of survival. Instead, they had unleashed a species that could turn any threat into an amusement, any challenge into a game, and any environment into a playground for their boundless ingenuity. The galaxy had always worried about humanity's capacity for destruction. Now, the custodian collective pondered something far more terrifying: humanity's capacity for fun. And what they might build next, when given infinite challenges to play with.